hard to believe that our deer season here in Ohio is only a few short weeks away, and we're in the mid-90s. I guess it's not hard to believe. It seems to be that way every year now. Summer temperatures really hit us in August, September. So with that being said, before we start on the hunt footage for tonight, I'd like to go over a few things with you. Get in there and check this calf that's laying. One of the things we try to stress to everybody on the crew, and we hope that everyone else pays attention to it too, is safety in the woods. Come on, get up. Come on, little buddy. Well, that's a newborn. But these temperatures are one thing. A lot of folks will start hunting as soon as season comes in. I would love to, but some flies and mosquitoes and the sweat, not something I'm real interested in. Beginning of deer season, it's also not something that I want to carry into the woods with me every time I go, is the sweat walking to and from the stand, things of that nature. So, especially in the hot weather, as well as at all other times too, but really beginning of season when it's really hot outside, one thing everybody needs to be mindful of is staying hydrated. Do that. Try to stay away from soda pops and things of that nature, your Pepsis and Cokes and Mountain Dews. And I know my dad, he'll pack a thermos of coffee with him even when it's 90 degrees outside. Nothing beats a nice bottle of water in temperatures like this, to be on the safe side. Bottles of water, sports drinks, Gatorade, Powerades, I guess some of your energy drinks maybe as well. But try to stay hydrated. Keep something with you. I know a lot of folks carry a pack that has a bladder in it for water. It's a really good idea. You can also, they make a lot of, hey, there's two hen turkeys. No young with them, but that's pretty neat. Oh no, there's two jakes. It's pretty neat. I knew they were on this property, but never really hunted it for them. Not a lot of woods, a lot of tall fence. So try to stay hydrated. Keep hydration stuff with you when you go to the woods, especially early season when it's hot like this. Another thing I want to touch on is tree stand safety. A lot of us, the episode you're going to watch tonight is John hunting from a blind, which he does a lot of, and there's some safety considerations to take into account then as well. But the main thing I want to focus on is tree stand safety. Nobody wants to fall out of a tree. I mean, it's never going to happen to you, so on and so forth. I mean, I had a cousin who fell from a tree one time years ago when I was a kid, still in high school, and he drug himself probably a mile and a half out of the woods with a broken leg. It's not always carelessness that causes a fall. I've seen cables break on tree stands. I know we all have seen videos, heard reports of that happening. Cables break on tree stands and the platform fall. Ratchet straps or safety chains snap or come undone and the whole stand fall. Or fall stepping off that last run of the ladder onto the tree. You know, there's all kinds of variables that can cause a fall, not just a carelessness of the hunter. One of the most important things you can take into the woods with you when you go to get in a tree stand is your safety harness and your belt to go around the tree. Personally, I like to use a rope with a Prisic knot in it. Works really well, a lot better than the straps, I think. It's a lot easier to work with, a lot less cumbersome. But one of the things that we're starting to incorporate that I think is very important that's come about in the last few years is the lifeline. I know with a climber, that's an impossibility unless it's a tree you frequent and you could leave one hanging in the tree. But other than that, I'm even starting to use them on ladder stands. That way you're connected to the tree, to the safety rope, from the time you step on that first rung of the ladder, or that first screw-in step, or that first step on your climbing sticks. Excuse me. You're connected from the time you step off the ground to the time you come back after the hunt is over. You're constantly connected. I mean, a lot of guys will climb up and hook up as soon as they get to the tree, and it's, you know, what I always done in the past too, but that split second between stepping onto the platform and hooking your carabiner to your strap or to your rope is all it needs for something to happen and you to fall. Icy platforms, parts malfunctioning, anything. So please, if you don't listen to anything else we ever say on any of these episodes, listen when I ask you to please wear a safety belt and a harness at all times in the tree. Now, as far as the blind goes, a lot less dangerous as far as falls or something of that nature. But keep in mind, keep all debris clear of the doorway to the blind. And also, if you're going to be hunting in gun season or black powder season in your blind, mark the blind as if you were marking yourself with something orange to notify other hunters that you're there. The last thing you want is for somebody to shoot through a deer or past a deer or in the direction of a deer that's between your blind and that other hunter. You know, we try to be mindful of our target and what's beyond it, but you can't always see everything, especially the way some of these blinds get brushed in and the quality of the camouflage patterns that's on these blinds these days. They blend in really, really well. So do everything you can to protect yourself. And always use a light, even if it's a colored light, going in and out of the woods in the dark. So, I think I've bored you enough with safety tips for this week. So let's go to northern Ohio, northeastern Ohio, and follow John Rhodes again. You see a lot of episodes with John in it. John has a lot of hunting opportunities. John's trying to punch a late season tag on a buck. It doesn't work out that way, but he does punch his tag. Christmas Eve, late season. Got a new bow just a couple of days before, and he's out in the blind trying to break it in and christen the new bow that he's using. So, as usual with John, things are a little different. I think this was John's first attempt at when he takes an animal, he is actually going to field dress, quarter, debone, and pack out this deer in his backpack. Something that with John, he goes to the extremes. He says he's preparing himself for a hunt out west where he knows he'll have to pack a deer out instead of being able to drag it or get a side-by-side or four-wheeler to it. So, I hope you enjoy this episode. The process after the hunt's a little long, but I felt that it was worth showing. It's not something that we do every day or you see every day when a hunter takes an animal, especially in the Midwest in Ohio. So, I hope you enjoy this episode. Like I said, thanks for tuning in.
That rub is new. Maybe he'll show up. I didn't bring my steps to check my camera. But it's a nice one. Put a little micro food plot out. Right there. gonna happen this week. Pick up my new bow on Thursday. Bowtech Realm.
Alright, I shot a doe at 5 o'clock. Went in, hit the back side of the shoulder and came out. old doe. Or smoked her.
Today's Christmas Eve. Came in this afternoon. 5 o'clock. I had 2 big does come in. So I shot one. She didn't go very far, maybe 60 yards. Went through her front shoulder and back into the opposite side shoulder, and then the arrow came out. So I collared her in, tagged her in, and then I quartered her out, deboned her, and packed her out. So first time doing that, practicing for when I get into public land. I was hunting some private land tonight, urban doe. But I haven't seen the big does this whole year, and today these 2 showed up, so I shot the bigger of the 2. So I'm on my way home now. I'm out.
As it would turn out, John didn't get to fill that buck tag on this late season archery hunt, but what he did do was get to kill Christmas dinner. I kind of hope I was right and you all actually enjoyed seeing the process of John quartering, deboning, and cutting up the deer before he left the woods and actually packed it out in his pack. One key thing there is that John did call and tag that animal in before he started the process. So that deer, before it left the woods, it was tagged, it was legal. So I think it's a pretty neat process. I don't think it's one that I'm ready to make the norm yet, but John likes to push his limits and likes to take things to extremes. And it was a nice first time out with a new bow to actually draw blood and get to put a tag on an animal. May not have been a buck, but a nice mature doe. As I say, John gets to hunt a lot of these urban areas in northeast Ohio, and he definitely does his part in trying to control the herd and manage the herd. He's got some really good spots with some really good animals. A lot of good, respectable bucks. But John is a deer hunter. John isn't a trophy hunter. He is a deer hunter, and anything he shoots does go in his freezer and is consumed by his family. That's one thing that all of us try to do. Yeah, we all want to kill that 140, 150, 160, and we do on occasion, but the most important thing is time in Mother Nature, time with friends and family, time spent doing something that we are extremely passionate about. It's a way of life for us, not just a hobby. It's not a sport. A lot of people call it a sport. I guess in some instances it is. Not for us. It's a way of life. It's who we are. It's what we do. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I pray that you listened to the safety message that was at the beginning of the show. I hope you enjoyed seeing John's hunt. We only included 1 hunt in this episode. We usually do at least 2, sometimes 3. But we wanted to show that entire process, and I wanted to speak a little bit to the safety aspect of what we do. We want everybody that enters the deer woods this year to return from them as well. Hopefully successful, but if not successful, at least safely. So, I say so way too many times. Thanks for tuning in this week. Remember, if you're in a tri-state area, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, Border Sporting Goods in Ashland, gun safes, firearms, archery, fishing equipment, they've got you covered. Give the guys a call, have something you're looking for, go to their website. Better yet, visit the store. Amazing people to work with. Prices won't be beat. Definitely have the customer in mind and carry the top of the line of everything. Until next week, stay safe. Hope you have a great season. And remember, aim small, shoot small, and please take a child and introduce them to the outdoors.